Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tool to Play presents Still Got Game with Derek D. Smooth Nolan and Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
This episode of Still Got Game is brought to you by ThinkGeek and the Craft Beer Club. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 334. Still Got Game's official podcast of ToolToPlay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I'm Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
What is going on, Joel Dude I Rock Albert, my friend?
I don't give a fuck. That was from Hitman.
Yes. Super producer Hitman doing a fantastic job tonight. His care for the show is it's like a baby that he forgot in the crib.
And when the absentee parent.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah. But we are back after a week off here.
Yeah, week off. We're back, and then we're gonna be gone. You're gonna be gone next week.
Yeah.
So
no show next week, guys. I'm gonna be out away for work next week, so there will be no show. And we are Tiffless tonight because she's away for work. So sometimes real life gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
But it gives you a break in shows, so you don't get too much of us too fast.
You don't want all this show right away.
You want to OD on us. That's like
it's too much show.
Yes, you can't handle it. You can't handle that big fat wad of show. Just can't. Something like that.
Sure.
All right. Well, on that, why don't we just jump right in the show proper?
Let's do it.
Let's go to feedback from last week's show. Remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. The Dogfather comments. Great episode last week. Your after show game is strong. It's like free content after an already cool thing.
What was our after show content last week? What were we talking about?
It was 2 weeks ago, and now I don't.
Yeah, that's what happens. Is I don't remember. Well, this is what happens when we take a break. Is I forget.
Yes.
By week after it's over, it's like it's out the break.
I know we talked for a while because lately
it was a long
the show's
time.
been super long.
Like 2 hours.
Yes. Last week's went extra long. Even Tiff hung out for the whole after show. I don't remember what it was, but we try to provide that little bit of extra at the end.
For sure.
Just when you think we gave it all, we fucking cuddle with you too, and
we give you an hour more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, but thanks for the kind words, Dogfather. All right, Witta comments. I'm so glad I didn't miss this episode. As a PC gamer, I've had the privilege of playing Trackmania games for years, but most of my friends are console only. I didn't know that TMT was coming out for consoles until you guys mentioned it, but I'm psyched to get this on my Xbox One and play with my friends. Yeah, Trackmania Turbo was, I didn't know that was coming until I put it on the show outline.
I know, right?
Yeah. So
no one knows about it. It's funny because I think we were talking last week or whatever, that Trackmania was like a PC only thing and that only those people played it, but maybe you're getting some conversions because people own a console, and if they've played it before, they're going to bring it over their console. So I guess they do exist.
And they can convince their friends to play.
There you go.
Yeah, because I'm sure for a lot of people that don't usually like racing games, this is exactly the kind of racing game that you will like, because you don't have to know what your differential is and what kind of tires you have. No, it's like, is there a fucking jump? Yeah, I'm going to jump it. It's cool. Yeah.
It's the non-Sarcasmo Jones version of racing.
Yes, it's easy mode racing.
Exactly.
With fun jumps and shit.
Right.
Way more fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, and last but not least, Tipsome comments. Thanks for talking about Microsoft's absurd idea to allow people to sell back their digital game licenses. I think Electrify's idea about transferring licenses to someone else is perfection. This should be a thing. Yeah, it should be a thing.
Yeah, that's one of those statements where or comments when someone leaves it, you're just like, yeah, because we've talked about it at length, but obviously there's a lot of problems with what they brought up. But Tiff brought up probably the best solution ever, which is obviously to let me give my license to a friend if I so choose. Yep. So yeah, can't agree more.
Yeah, we got to get on this.
Let's do it.
I believe we patented it during the show live last week. So.
We did. It's a royalty thing, which is nice. We license it out, then we just sit there and collect the royalties. It's perfect, really, for both of us.
Rest invest.
Exactly. Rest invest. That's how we do it here.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you all for your awesome feedback. If any of you have feedback, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And in site-related news, nope, Jay's got nothing. I've got nothing. So we are moving on to what we're playing. Joel Dude I Rock Albert, what have you been playing this week?
I mean, just a shit ton of The Division. More than I played when Destiny came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
at you.
Oh yeah, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it.
I guess so.
And I've been enjoying it. I really have. I have to say, the grind is real, very real. It's an MMO, way more than Destiny is. Whereas I'd say Destiny is, FPS, then MMO. This is MMO, then FPS, or third-person shooter. But yeah, no, I've been having a great time. The grind is real, but already 2 weeks from now, content patch coming. And when I say content patch, it would be something that you would absolutely 100% have to pay for in Destiny, but it is totally free in the Division. New raids, new PvP modes, new guns, new weapons, tons of fixes, all free, less than a month after release.
Yeah.
Suck a dick, Bungie.
Wow.
Step up your fucking game.
Strong words.
Get good.
Strong words.
Get good. How about you? What shitty game are you playing?
Well, speaking of Destiny, I played a bunch of Destiny this week. And, well, not a bunch. I did, actually, because this was an Iron Banner time. So I did Iron Banner and all my guys. Did the raid. And, but I also played a whole bunch of Rock Band 4 this week.
I saw you playing.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you saw me playing? Nice. Yeah, went through your friends list. What the fuck's he doing?
I was like, oh, maybe there's friends playing Division. No, Rock Band. What the fuck?
No, it was time to bust back out the plastic instruments and see if I had my skills. And I do not have my skills. They are not.
No. Those go away pretty fast.
Yes, yeah. This is I had to dial my guitar down to medium for now, just to get back to my fingers.
Dexterity
even
goes away. It's
my finger doesn't bend that way. How do you reach orange? Like it doesn't happen. So yeah, I had to slowly dial that back. My vocal stuff, I was fine. I was able to pick expert on vocals, and I was getting 95s to 99%, no problem. But the guitar stuff is that's a slow relearn, I'll tell you.
So how do you feel about the game in general? Because there's some news coming up about that genre later on in the show, but how do you feel about it?
I think they're finally they've had enough patches now and enough content updates. I feel like at least Rock Band 4 is very solid at this point, and I know people like Eskreth at work when he ended up picking up for Christmas his first Xbox One and the Rock Band 4 full band in a box bundle, because that was the thing he was waiting on. And so he and his family play Rock Band all the time. He's got the drums and everything else, and you get your whole existing music library to bring in, and they've kind of optimized the way to import that now a little bit. It's better than it was. So I was able to import all the Rock Band 3 content, and when you have a fairly sizable library you built up, and now you just have a new game that you were able to pay $60 for or $40 and bring in all your old content, that's a huge value add.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm kind of still on the fence of if this is going to have staying power. I don't know that we were ready for another Rock Band just yet, so I don't know. Maybe is it selling well? Do we even know?
That we don't know. We don't know if the instruments are selling well, because and that was a tough thing for Mad Catz, is putting publishing on Mad Catz and the instruments on Mad Catz, because they ended up making instruments back compat. So then you didn't necessarily need new instruments.
You have to pay, right?
So you got a hardware company funding you to do the publishing, but you're really not sending, we only have, of all the guitars, we only have one new guitar, and it's the one we bought at PAX East last year because it was a special limited edition PAX East one. We didn't buy any of the new Mad Catz hardware, so I don't know. Interesting. I don't know, but it's still as fun a party game as ever. Everybody loves to play, and I don't know. And you can now play it on an Xbox One, so I'm sure it lands everywhere. This is super popular.
All right, fair enough.
All right. On that, why don't we hop on over into the new releases? First new release out this week is a multi-platform release, and it is Quantum Break, and this is out for the Xbox One and the PC. This is Remedy's long-awaited time-manipulating third-person action-adventure, whatever you want to call it, game. As Jack Royce in the game, you get to stop time briefly for the world around you while you can still move. The mechanic comes into play both in terms of either offense or defensive maneuvers, as well as puzzle solving. The game looks absolutely beautiful. It's been pulling solid reviews in the 8s, and I know a lot of people were waiting for this for a long time. And if you actually had pre-ordered this, which actually you're still able to pre-order tonight because it doesn't come out tomorrow, but if you pre-order on the Xbox One, you get it for free on the PC as well. So,
wow,
yeah. Oh, you guys didn't know this? I see Hit's face too.
No, that's not a bad deal at all. Yeah. I mean, if I wanted Quantum Break.
And it's got cross-platform saves, so if you save it on the Xbox, you can hop on the PC. And
why isn't that just free the whole time now? It feels really weird that it's a pre-order only.
I don't know.
I don't know. You know, like to promote this whole, I feel like we're getting so close to this cross-platform thing. We're so close.
Mm-hmm.
I need these companies to give me that shit for free all the time.
Well, this is one of the better chances here. This is the first step.
It's a first step. It's a first step. The game looks pretty cool. I have to say, like, we've been hearing about Quantum Break for
4 years, maybe?
18 years. I don't know. A long time.
Yeah, we've seen videos at multiple different E3s, and it always looked amazing, but there was never any. It's always way out on the horizon.
Right, like,
you didn't know what it was.
Be a thing. I still don't know what it is. It's funny. It's releasing tomorrow, and it's been long enough where I've completely forgotten about exactly. I don't even know what the gameplay videos look like.
I remember the videos of like they're in the office building, and then all of a sudden shit's blowing up, and it goes slow mo, and he's running around doing stuff while the building is falling apart around him. And
that's the only thing I remember is that exact video. That's true, and that was at least 2 years ago. At least. 2 years.
I think that led off the Xbox press event that year.
Yeah, it did. We'll see what happens. I'm actually still semi-interested in it. I think it's not my, I'm pretty sure it's not my style of game. Yeah. I know it's like really a first person or, one player. Yep. So, it's probably not my bag, but it looked really cool.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. And that's what we need is more games that are not, don't tack a number on the end and pull out another one. Like, do something new and different. And if it takes you 5 years to make, 6 years to make, by all means, do it. Because obviously this is wildly popular. I know they've been tweeting a lot about their pre-order numbers. So,
oh really?
Well? I think so. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah. I always want to see that, whether I like the game or not. If it's a new IP and they're trying something different, I hope it sells a shit ton.
Yeah, exactly. It's better for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and the other new release out this week is Dirt Rally, and this is out for the Xbox One, the PS4, and Windows. This is Codemasters Rally Simulation follow-up to 2012's Dirt Showdown. As always, these guys focus on realistic rally racing using real-world physics, which is not our thing, Jay. We don't like realistic things. Sarcasm, he's not really a rally guy, I don't think, but if he was a rally guy, this would be his thing because you need to be it's so unforgiving. The game launches with 17 cars and 36 tracks, and it's been getting great review scores in the high 8s and low 9s. Like, I don't even understand this. But
really?
Yeah. Like, people apparently love this thing.
I feel like if you're a reviewer that reviews this game, this is the weird thing about reviewing video games. Like, if you're a reviewer and you're not into racers and you play a game like this that is like hyper realism and you're trying to get the sim down to a T, I feel like you're going to hate it no matter what.
Oh, yeah, it sucks so bad. Yeah,
like, how do you review that type of a game? You got to be like, oh, this is shit. Like, oh, I play shooters. I reviewed this car game and I fucking hate it. Well, yeah. Like, to me, just reading this, I hate the game already. I have not played it.
No.
So, like, maybe they just have, like, car guys do the reviews for car games. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's how they break. Like, all right, who's our car? Oh, we got 2 car guys. Okay, who's reviewing, Dust Rally and this? Like, it's just not my thing at all. Like, the last thing I want to do is have to break out an Excel spreadsheet and put in numbers and figure out all my shit to play a game that's racing, which it should be the most no-brainer of things ever. You've been riding a tricycle since you were a kid. You can get on something and steer it and move it forward. It's not a hard concept.
Push button, make it go. Turn left, turn right. I'm in.
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah. That's what made the Destiny racing, the Sparrow racing. People actually played that because it was so mindlessly easy. It was not something hard to do.
That's for sure. A little too mindlessly easy. So much so that I didn't play it because it sucked.
Everybody's got their own problems with it, but
it was free.
It was free, and it didn't require you to break out Excel.
That's true. There's no Excel involved.
Yes,
that's one of my number one requirements for any video game I play is no Excel. So that's step one is met.
That's pro. All right. Well, I guess Jay, on that, why don't we hop on over into gaming news? First story.
Everybody gets a dev kit for their Xbox One. So the dream of turning your Xbox into a software development kit is finally a reality. Xbox chief Phil Spencer announced last week during the build keynote that the process will actually be pretty simple to do. Essentially, you just download the Xbox Dev Mode app, register as a developer, and boom, done. From there, you can swap back and forth between a retail game or the app that you're working on, be it a game or even something else, which is kind of cool for even me. I read this and was like, maybe it might be cool to see if we can like build an app for Tool to Play or something. It's kind of a cool idea. So Microsoft's Ashley Spiencher, it's German, Demoed a photo editing app on stage at the keynote where she was able to add a chat bubble and text to an adorable image of a thick-maned dog simply using her voice and Kinect. It looked way easier than trying to use an on-screen keyboard, that's for sure. Bringing the developer kit to Xbox One, quote, isn't just a hobby. It's a commitment to empower every developer on the planet, Spencer said. There's a preview version available, but Microsoft's indie developer-minded Chris Charla told Polygon that you might run into some issues if you're playing around with it right now. So maybe hold off until it actually comes out for realsies. Spencer also mentioned that the Windows Store, this is what I love, the Windows Store and Xbox Store will merge, thank God, bringing things like season passes together with Cortana running on the Xbox One. Oh, and music in the background will actually finally be possible, even though we had it years ago on our other Xboxes, after the so-called anniversary update that arrives this summer. Yay. Further, Microsoft has developed tools that can turn old games, like, believe it or not, Age of Empires 2, one of the best video games ever made, into a cross-platform app. Ooh, I'm feeling that cross-platform. It's happening. The future Spencer hinted at previously about forward compatibility and backward compatibility being a focus for Windows 10 gaming is finally coming to pass. Of course, how this will all work outside of the controlled environment demonstrated on stage remains to be seen. Given how simple things like Xbox game streaming to Windows PC works, though, I don't think there's too much reason for concern. They've done, so far, an amazing job with these two things. Oh, yeah. Amazing job.
The game streaming, that works out of the box.
Out of the box.
I told you my problem using the PlayStation TV trying to stream.
Oh, Garbo.
With 2 second lag. Meanwhile, I can play a shooter remote on my thing. But this is fantastic news. This is awesome. So
huge.
I think it's like $15 or $25 to get your license thing. Right. But that is a much lower barrier to entry than even to get you want to develop an iPhone app. It's
$100. I pay it. I pay it every goddamn year. I'm sick of paying it.
So this is such a small barrier to entry. And now this isn't just like, because the barrier to entry is small, you don't have to buy a dev kit. You can turn your Xbox into one. That means that we're actually going to see apps. Because right now the only apps that are out there are from major video providers.
HBO.
Yes. This is, someone could make a very website specific app, a Destiny companion app. Any of these type of things can now become reality on the console. And I guess there's this really clear thing that takes you from, if you develop in Visual Studio, you can dual publish that to Xbox and to Windows 10 and to Xbox. And if you want to actually put it out on Xbox, they'll convert you to an ID at Xbox account, and you'll become an independent developer, and you can push it out that way and sell your app. So this
sounds amazing.
This ecosystem is perfect. And I know they said this before the console even came out. They said that eventually these would all become dev kits.
Yeah, right.
It took a long time for this to happen, but now that it's happening, this is really exciting.
This is a big deal. And for those that don't understand like why it's a big deal, one of the things with Tool to Play is like we have all these awesome members that want to hang out with each other, but maybe they don't necessarily want to be on a friends list. How awesome would it be to have an in-game sidebar app that I can pop out just like a friends list, like a Snap to, and just have a list of everyone that's on Tool to Play.
That's currently
message them through the app right on Xbox. I mean, it's kind of like the possibilities start to really in the community way of looking at things really start to get good. Yeah. You could sort by game, you could do all the things that you do on Tool to Play, but then bring it directly into the system. It's huge.
And these people don't have to be on your friends list. You just they're Tool to Play members. That's their
that's the
ticket to entry.
Piece. Yes, right. That's
like, hey, we're all here together. Let me pop open the Tool to Play app and see who's on. Oh, these guys are playing Destiny. These guys are playing Division. I'll invite this guy. I'll invite this guy. We need one more. Oh. So yeah, this is perfect. I really like where this is going.
I'm a super fan of this. I can't wait to.
And obviously, this tool lets you pop Age of Empires 2 and republish it out from PC to Xbox. Like that's
awesome.
That's awesome. So I think we're going to see a lot of good stuff coming out of this program.
Totally agree.
Yep. Good news. All right, next story.
And the crazy news keeps getting crazier. Fresh details are finally emerging on Sony's more powerful version of the PS4. And this has been going on for I want to say almost a month now. We've heard about this, but even more details are starting to finally get leaked out. Two separate media outlets are now reporting that Sony is developing a new iteration of the PS4 that is more powerful than the current version. How or why such a revamped console might be launched is pretty much unclear. And there's a lot of things that kind of go against this as a possibility, but we'll get to that. But details of the potential PS 4.5 initiative were first reported by Kotaku last week. Actually, I think it was even before that, and seem to have come primarily from developers that are familiar with the project. Those who aren't should also note that these those who aren't should note these reports because, among other things. That sentence feels weird.
Because you would say, if you lift out the among other things, you'd say these should note these reports because they're well within the Xbox G's.
Oh, it's the among other things.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Right. Anyway, since I completely derailed this, basically Phil Spencer's comments earlier this month talking about decoupling the software platform from the hardware kind of dovetails nicely into this info. In fact, I'm really hoping that we hear something very soon about Xbox doing the exact same thing. That would be fucking great. Spencer was referring to, of course, Microsoft's efforts to make games playable across PC and Xbox One, but his statements also allude to a broader goal of creating a console ecosystem where games can be backwards and forwards compatible, allowing for companies to release updated hardware more often. Quote, I believe we will see more hardware innovation in the console space than we've ever seen. You'll actually see us come out with new hardware capability during a generation, allowing the same games to run backward-forward compatible, said Spencer. Quote, we can effectively feel a little bit more like what we see on PC, where I can go back and run my old Quake or Doom games, but then I can also see the best 4K games coming out, end quote. The last bit, of course, is especially notable in light of the fact that today Eurogamer's Digital Foundry reports based on unnamed but trusted sources that Sony's R&D department is prototyping a device known as the PlayStation 4K. Digital Foundry's full report is worth reading as it explores the technical reasons why a more powerful PS4 console that's capable of rendering games in native 4K, quote, at the same quality title as current 1080p titles seems impossible. So Sony has now sold well over 36 million PlayStation 4 consoles since the platform's release in November of 2013. This is weird. So now we're getting to a place where we're going back to having a PC. It's so fucked up.
Yeah,
right? Like,
the whole point of consoles is everybody's on a level playing field. So even if you say, okay, well, this new PlayStation 4K, it'll output in 4K resolution, but the games will have the same performance as the current PlayStation 4. Well, how can you say that? Like,
you can't.
Because there's points where you play games now, whether it's PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, where you're playing and you can tell that the CPUs are all maxed out. And
it's over, right.
So things are getting slow and choppy, and you're like, no, let me win. So if you have a faster CPU, that problem's not going to happen.
And you know what I never like about this? This is why, first of all, this is the main reason I hate consoles in general. I wish there was no such thing as a console. That'd be great for me, but there is, so that's life. But we run into this issue where PC games are downgraded just to make sure that they can work on a console. I hate it. It's happened with The Division. Even more so if you don't even want to bring PCs up. You could say that it happened with Destiny because they had to go backwards compat with the fucking Xbox 3 shitty. Yeah. It's a terrible thing. So I am all for a PlayStation 4.5 and I am all for an Xbox 3.5, whatever you want to call it. But the shitty part is I don't want it to be at the expense of the games that I'm currently playing. I know that G40 said Spencer stated somewhere that he's not a fan of the Xbox 1.5. I don't know. I've never seen that. That might be true. But I could also see the flip side of that being Sony gets to sell more product quicker. And they keep on top of the gamer's mind of having the absolute latest and greatest in technology every time they want to go buy a system. So there's pros and cons here. It just depends on how they work it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I saw Spencer say that thing, I think it was today or yesterday, that he basically said after all these Sony rumors came out, he's like, well, that's not what we're saying. I think what they're saying, the Microsoft vision is when our next console comes out, it should be able to play everything behind it. Like that should always be a thing, and not just one behind it, like everything behind it. And moving forward, you should be able to push you can keep pushing the hardware ahead each console life cycle without leaving your games behind. and those games should get some sort of benefit from that. Because that's the thing now is you can play the 360 games and back and pat, but they're the 360 games. It's not,
there's no uplift.
They're not getting any benefit from that. Right. So if games are built in a way where the textures are there and they're lowered down to your current platform of use, well, now you have these high-res textures and you get a 4K game and all the textures were in there at 4K. Well, now they can use that.
But what does this quote mean where he says, quote, you'll actually see us come out with new hardware capability during a generation, allowing the same games to run backward and forward compat? Whenever he speaks about the hardware, that's the part I don't really understand. Like, what would be new hardware capability in that sentence, in that context, that would not mean an upgraded version of your system?
I think the quote is weird. I think it's a capability within the hardware, not new hardware.
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
I guess I could see that. Yeah, where he's just saying that the hardware itself allows for the platform to be decoupled, and therefore you can run older games. I guess that's true. I mean, for one, when I heard about the PlayStation 4K, I thought it was a great thing, simply because, again, right now, my PC kicks the living shit out of a PlayStation or an Xbox One. It's to the point where, like, I think a lot of console gamers don't really fully grasp just how far behind these. It used to be where Xbox would come out and it would be on the level of a gaming PC when it came out, and then slowly lose ground as time went on. Yep. Now, the minute the Xbox One was released, and the PS4 for that matter, it was
they were already behind.
Piece of shit. I mean, like, not even in the same realm. Now, like, the PC I have, it blows these games out of the water. So in a weird way, I don't know if console life cycles really can do a 10-year anymore. I feel like a 3-year or a 5-year might have to be a thing. And maybe doing it incrementally means they don't have to spend as much on R&D for the new systems, and they can sort of keep the costs low while you're still buying, a $300 system every 2-3 years, as opposed to a $500 system every 5 or 10 years. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's better. I don't know.
It's a tough sell because the hard part of the comparison is also you're comparing something that costs $300, $400, $500 to something that costs $1,500, $2,000.
Easy. Yeah.
So it's not
it's not a one-to-one.
Yes.
No, it's absolutely not. The difference being that, like, a gaming rig, because of that cost, can last for a significantly long period of time. And of course, the big difference being that I can upgrade my system. So, like, right now I have a brand new system, but there are components in it that have lived in my old system for a long time. Hard drives, networking cards, all that stuff is, the technology hasn't gone crazy with those, so you can keep them. Yep. And really, you're just upgrading CPUs and you're upgrading
graphics cards,
memory, and graphics cards. And those are your 3 main choke points. Yep. So yeah, I don't know. And it's a tough call. I, for one, would like to see it.
I'd like to see it too, because it also opens up people with 4K TVs. Now it gives you some other option, not only to put games out, but now the apps available for that console have the ability to give you that 4K
They can play with it.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
That's the bummer. I have a 4K TV in the living room, but I can't play Netflix. I can play Netflix on it, but I'm not getting my 4K version of Netflix because the system can't do 4K. Yep. So I'm left trying to use the TV app just to get my 4K, and it's a piece of shit. It's not nearly as good. So yeah, there are definitely a lot of benefits from it. Yeah. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out.
For sure.
All right, next story.
Activision's going to lay off some mofos at Guitar Hero Live developer Freestyle. It's a bummer. Activision representatives confirmed to Game Informer today that a number of people have been laid off from Guitar Hero Live developer Freestyle Games, which will now focus on supporting the game rather than developing new projects. This is, of course, in line with the comments made in February during Activision Blizzard's holiday earnings report, which was worse than expected. The company noted at the time that there would be no new Guitar Hero games for the current generation of consoles after Guitar Hero Live's performance proved underwhelming. Shortly after, word began to spread of cutbacks across the company, including at Freestyle, which Activision acquired nearly a decade ago. It's crazy to think about. Gamasutra reached out to the studio representatives for more details at the time, but received no response. What a shocker. Today, however, Activision representatives confirmed to Game Informer that following a consultation period, which is mandatory for most employees that are being laid off in the UK, an unspecified number of the Freestyle employees lost their jobs since, quote, the decision has been made to restructure Freestyle Games to better align with the studio for future business needs. Gotta love that corporate speak.
Yeah.
What? Not a shocker.
No,
Like,
I felt like Guitar Hero Live was an answer to Rock Band's announcement that we're coming out of this self-made hiatus of rhythm games. We're bringing back Rock Band and Rock Band 4. And then Guitar Hero is like, maybe we should bring something back. And they innovated the controller. They changed it up to have the 2 buttons per fret. I don't know. I wanted it to be better, but of course I don't know anybody that has this game.
I don't know anyone that has this.
I know plenty of people that picked up Rock Band 4. I don't know anybody that has this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone in my friends list playing this either.
I don't even know what it looks like. Like, I really don't. I'm not even exaggerating. I have no idea, like, how they've changed the interface, or I don't even know what the hardware looks like. I know nothing about it.
Yeah, so the hardware, it's the same guitar, except there's no more colored buttons. There's 3 black buttons and 3 white buttons above each other on 3 consecutive frets, and you can do chords and that kind of stuff. And the interface has changed where you can still play a song. You can buy songs and all that sort of thing. Or you can play this Guitar Hero Live thing, which is basically a never-ending MTV-style playlist where after a song's over, it picks some song from the entire library of of Guitar Hero Live. You don't have to own the song, and then you can play that next song. And it's like a radio station that's always playing, and you get to play all those songs. So that part's kind of cool.
Cool, I guess.
The other thing is it's all full motion video. So you see FMV of the audience that are watching your show, and as you suck, they start to boo you and throw shit. And as you do better, they start to get happier. And it actually plays pretty seamlessly. And there's not like a big cut from when they're hating you to when they're loving you. But it's just, it wasn't my thing. I wasn't going to go buy new hardware in this game.
Yeah, that's the other part of the hardware. Now you have to buy all new hardware. People don't want to do that. Yeah.
But it is sad.
Not shocked. It's sad when people lose their jobs, but not shocked.
I liked in the rhythm game heyday, I fucking loved Rock Band. I loved Guitar Hero. I loved DJ Hero was probably one of my favorite of all the games. Like we have 4 full DJ Hero sets in the house. When the kids were little, they were playing it too. Everybody loves that. But that would have been the game to bring back. Instead of competing with Rock Band and the Rock Band front, bring back DJ Hero.
Yeah, do something different.
Yep.
I just still think it wasn't enough time. Like, I don't know. It's almost like they needed to wait a whole nother console life cycle to bring this back. The nostalgia was still there, but the nostalgia hasn't kicked in all the way yet. It hasn't been like, I remember back in the day when we played. Like, it is a gimmick by default. So because of that, you got to be really careful bringing it back into the world.
It was an impressive gimmick, though.
It lasted for a while, and it sold a lot of copies.
Guitar Hero was selling those guitars for a long time, and then when Rock Band came out, they really took that step. They were like, hey, we're going to put out a fucking $250 thing at Thanksgiving time. And it's a big box of plastic instruments. Pay us $250. And
people did.
And it sold like fucking hotcakes.
Yeah, people did. Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's sad.
Sad, bummer.
Lose their jobs. But.
Yeah, but not really surprised, no.
All right. Next story?
Next story. Dancing Fool finally reaches level 100 in World of Warcraft using only a dance pad. This is so lame. Remember that guy who set out to reach World of Warcraft's level cap using a dance pad? I don't either. But anyway, he did it. Rudism, the cheerful Kiwi who plays games wrong, hit level 100 sometime around 7 p.m. New Zealand yesterday. In sum, he logged about 5 days, 11 hours, 48 minutes, and 38 seconds of dancing time to get his Troll Monk up to max level. When he hit 100, he lit out a "fuck yes, we did it" as his chat feed scrolled through with congratulations and also people questioning why. I think a lot of people just questioning why. After a goofy victory dance, Rudism sat down at the keyboard to talk to his friends, noting that it was the first time he had touched a keyboard during play in about 3 weeks, which is crazy. His raid partners at first had no idea what controller he was using, which I think is kind of cool. But as his notoriety grew, others caught on, and he had no shortage of partners to join up and help him along. You can see them breaking out into emote dances of their own after he reached his goal. Quote, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fantastic month of dancing, meeting fantastic, lovely people," he said. "I feel that we've made a great community of people." Rudism's Twitch followership has more than tripled to 3,700 since he began his dance pad quest. And of course, given the popularity, this isn't the end of his zany exploits. Quote, I'm going to play Heroes of the Storm with a guitar controller and Undertale with a dance pad, he announced today. So, this is dumb.
This is weird.
Right?
I watched.
You did?
Well, no, I didn't watch the live stream. I watched in the story on Polygon. I watched the video of, well, it was the archive Twitch stream that was 8 hours, but they told you exactly where to zoom up to see the end. And I watched it. He's got 2 dance pads hooked up to his PC. And so he has, what's that, 9, 18 buttons, essentially, because you have the diagonals in the middle and everything. So he obviously has some mapped to directions, some mapped to actual attacks and everything.
Right.
And it's, I guess it's impressive in some sort of weird way, but
I mean, it's good for your health. I would
yeah.
say, right?
Okay, that's the true upside is yes. This guy probably stood and
Lost
did more
like 8
activity,
pounds, 20
more
pounds.
than he's done in months.
Totally.
But it's like, why? Why do this?
to get viewers, right? Is that
to triple your followership.
triple your viewership?
Yeah, it's
Even I won't resort to exercise to get viewers. That's one thing I will
God forbid.
put my foot down on.
Yeah, actually, you can see behind me
Unintended.
here. So you can see his dance pads there, and yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's fucked up. Like everybody needs their. I guess it's like the same guy, like the guy that beat Crota, soloed Crota on a Guitar Hero controller. It's everybody's got some niche thing they want to do, and it's impressive, but I don't know. I don't know.
There. What do you think about the story?
Jay, not only does this story have me saying what the fuck, it has me saying why the fuck.
Yes, it does.
And on that, why don't we hop on over to the mailbag and voicemails? Altius asks, with the first production Oculus Rift units being delivered to Kickstarter backers last week and HTC Vive units this week, we have entered a brand new era in gaming. How long do you think it will be until VR goes mainstream? What things need to happen?
It's a great question. First of all, cost needs to be lower.
Yep. That's the first ultimate step.
The biggest one. Yeah, for sure. Software, obviously, we need more of it. There's not enough games, which is pretty normal.
Yeah, there's 60 games for the Rift.
60 games.
And 100 games for the Vive.
But the problem with that is that, okay, I've done the review because I almost bought one again. And I've said this, I think, in the last show. I go to order, I get to the site, I put in all my information. It says the buy now button, and I don't buy now.
Hold off.
I don't buy now. And the reasons are, yes, there are 60 games, but I looked at all the games. None of them are games that I want to play. So having games is one thing, but having games that you think are great is a completely different ballgame. You consider for a second, if you will, there are hundreds of thousands of video games that I could potentially play every day. On any of those given days, I probably play one, right? Right now it's The Division. It was Destiny, and then WoW for almost a decade, Halo for almost a decade. So to create a game that is good enough to buy a system is not easy to do. And right now, I would tell you, out of the 60 games, none of them are that game.
No.
That's just me looking in. I'm not a part of the system, not a part of the ecosystem. I don't know. But given what I've seen, meh is pretty much how I think. So those to me are the two big components. I, right now, can totally get one, and I have a PC that can run it.
Yep.
So even knowing those two things, I still haven't bought.
Yeah, you're ahead of the barrier of entry.
I'm ahead of the barrier of entry, right? And I still don't want to pay the money. Yeah. So it's still a problem. I did have a buddy that bought one, and he's been like sending me, he does like videos just to like keep me up to date. And he says it's the best thing he's ever spent money on. He absolutely loves it. He's a different gamer than I am, and he's more interested in those types of things.
So which one did he pick up?
Oculus Rift.
Okay.
He bought an Oculus Rift, yes.
Because the initial review is actually out now. Looking at people that from actual reviewers from real full AAA game review sites, the HTC Vive has been getting better reviews.
That's what I've heard as well.
And a part of it, now granted, there's things that Rift does better. It has the integrated headphones and everything else. But the fact that the Vive has, instead of just that one sensor in front of you, it has the two that you put in two opposite corners of the room.
Right.
And it allows an entirely different type of VR gameplay, which is this open space gameplay. So what you do is you set those things up in your room, you open up the space, and you take one of the handheld controllers and you walk the perimeter of the room so it knows your complete space that you can move around in. And then there's games that actually let you move around in space. So you're walking around as opposed to just standing still and looking around. So there's the games you could play seated or standing on the Rift or on the Vive where you don't need to go anywhere. But there's this other entire realm of games that the Vive opens up where you can actually move around and explore and interact with things that are, in your physical space. So
yeah, and it is definitely cool. I think they're both very cool. And I do think the Vive offers a little bit more because of that. And again, they have the controller and things like that, which, to be fair, Oculus will have the touch controllers at some point in time.
yeah, right now they have an Xbox controller.
Right now they have an Xbox. And I've heard multiple. So a friend of mine who's currently using it says the one thing that he knows right from the start is that it feels weird having the controller and using that to play. He feels like once you have the touch things and be able to go out and reach and grab things within the environment will really add a whole nother layer to the game. So. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think those two things and money, obviously, money makes the world go round. Money make you funny. So you need something to be low cost in order for you.
Yeah. Cost and software. And
that's it.
And feature parity, I think, too.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
So I think that the Vive needs to pick up on integrating some headphones. The Rift needs to pick up this multiple sensor type, move around in space. Also, the thing the Vive has that the Rift doesn't have is the Vive has an integrated high-res camera in the front. So with a touch of a button, you can actually see what's going on in your surroundings. So,
right.
So if you need to interact with your PC,
the Rift has that.
No, the Rift does not. You have to actually take off the Rift to use your PC and then put back on the Rift or view your PC in the Rift. But you cannot see what's around you in the room because there's no camera in the Rift.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you can stick that camera anywhere in the Vive, and then you can actually see what's going on in your room at the same time. So you're not completely locked out of reality.
And you haven't ordered one yet, have you?
I have not, because I need to order a new PC at the same time.
Right, that's a big.
So my
cost.
barrier of entry jumps.
Yeah.
It's a $multi-thousand barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's tough, right? I mean, that's tough for anybody.
Yeah, because I was gonna buy myself a new laptop, but then if I'm gonna buy a new gaming laptop, that's not going to be enough to run these things. So I'd have to go with a gaming PC, and then that sacrifices my ability to have a laptop that I can take places. I like having a gaming laptop.
Yeah, it is nice to be able to go somewhere and have a gaming rig at your fingertips.
Yeah.
I always weigh that. I've never bought a gaming laptop since an old Alienware about 5 years ago for the very reason that I sort of went back in time and added up the times that I played the video game system not in my room. It was like 4.
Yeah.
And at that point, it makes no monetary because you lose a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A lot.
Yep.
If you do a cost per system. So yeah.
No, I hear what you're saying, but
Yeah.
Well, great question, Altius, as always, keeping us talking and thinking. And if any of you have some awesome questions like Altius, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment in this episode's thread in the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors, remember, by supporting our sponsors, you help sports still got game. ThinkGeek. ThinkGeek sells all the cool shit you love. It's geek shit from movies, whether it's comic books, you name it. ThinkGeek's got it, and it is unique, awesome merchandise. So you're going to shop at ThinkGeek anyway. So if you're going to go there and you want the best possible deals from ThinkGeek and you want to help out the show, go to toolplay.com/geek, and then that will inject you into the ThinkGeek website with the best possible deals all activated. So do that, toolplay.com/geek. And the Craft Beer Club, everybody loves beer. And if you're either looking to get yourself a beer of the month subscription or just for 1 month or 3 months or a year, or you're looking to give one as a gift, the Craft Beer Club not only curates these awesome beer selections each and every month, but they'll give you a couple free pint glasses. They'll throw in a whole bunch of other extras, and you'll get the best deal possible through them by going to toolplay.com/beer. So use that ingress point into the Craft Beer Club, toolplay.com/beer, and you'll get the best deals possible. So once again, toolplay.com/geek, toolplay.com/beer. Shop them, and it will help us out. If you'd like to sponsor us, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us, podcast@toolplay.com. You tell us what you're selling, we're going to tell you you're going to pay us. We'll sell it, you pay us. Boom, done! Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. I, king of the internet, God of everything is fucking holy at twitter.com/Derek Nolan.
And you can find me at twitter.com/dudeotrock.
Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/Tool to Play. Facebook.com/Derek Nolan.
Facebook.com/dudeotrock.
We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tool to Play. That's the place to find all of Tool to Play's archive video content, whether it's episodes of this show, old shows that are temporarily in hiatus, like, I don't know, Thick and Thin with LB and Duty featuring Hitman. Hit's motherfucking hits. And Hit is, he knows this is coming because this week on Twitter, there was a lot of commentary about Hit's quick hits. Like, I'm serious. This is not me saying that it was just that we blew up the hashtag and trended worldwide. People are mentioning it on Twitter that they want the show back. And once Hit brings it back, this is where the archived episodes will end up on our YouTube channel. So go there, subscribe, and you will always be notified whenever Tool to Play content shows up. Please rate and review this podcast on iTunes. We need some 5-star reviews and we need some comments. So just go there, click 5 stars, write a nice little review. Hey, these guys are awesome. I love them. Great shows, entertaining, always a good time, and help us out. We have the Twitch channel that you're watching us right now live on, twitch.tv/Tool to Play. This is where Tool to Play blasts out all of our live video content. So whether it's this show, whether it's when Hit brings back Hit's motherfucking with hits, and which is highly demanded, that will be here too. And basically all of our live content goes here. We stream games, we do whatever. So go there, twitch.tv/Tool to Play. Definitely follow us there. No doubt. That costs you nothing. But if you really want to help the show and you want to support us the best way possible, there's a subscribe button. That is the place that you can definitely give back to the show and help us out. So twitch.tv/Tool to Play, do it up. Before we finish up tonight, I remind you can join us each and every Monday night, except next Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, twitch.tv/Tool to Play. And on that, Jay, why don't we wrap this episode up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
Stay tuned for an episode of Hits Quick Hits.